Okay, so it's a few days later now. I have been on the internet and I have been buying things. I will do a run through of everything that I've spent so far, but I've got a new set of wheels. These are standard Audi A4 wheels. These are what I think were originally on the car. Not the original set, but they're the same style as what was originally on the car. I managed to get a good deal on eBay for a set of 4, and I have a 5th spare, the brand new one that was in the boot. The tyres, most of them are alright. There's 1 or 2 that have got a bit of cracking on them, but they'll do for now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take the old ones, well the ones that are already on the car, I'm going to take them off and I'm going to list them for sale. Hopefully, fingers crossed, maybe make a little bit of profit out of that. I've also had a couple of special deliveries. I will be opening these up. I've got this and this. We'll have a look at them in a second. There is still a few things to come, but I'm going to start cleaning this knuckle up now. Remove the ABS sensor because I think that it's not going to be any good now, and I need to get that bolt out, so I'm just going to spray the ABS sensor out and just going to have to buy a new one. I managed to also get the bolt out of the brake caliper carrier. Didn't have to weld anything on. I just give it a good clean up with a wire brush and some WD-40 and got the mole grips on it, and it wound out, so that was a bonus, saved me a job. I've also got the 3 bolts that hold the brake disc shield. They're stuck in the knuckle, so I'm going to have to find a way of getting them out and maybe able to weld something on, or maybe go down the wire brush and WD-40 route. It might work, you never know. I just have to buy a new one. So what I've done is I've put a little washer down here, and then I've got a nut, and I've managed to screw it on actually. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to weld inside so that nut is physically attached to the bolt, and then we'll just get a spanner on it and just wind it out. Right, so that's the ABS sensor out, and the bolt is out as well. Managed to get it out. I failed a couple of times, but just got to persevere, haven't you? And that's why I always try and put copper grease on the bolts that I put in, and over the top of them as well, to stop them corroding and seizing in. This is a prime example. Now I'm going to remove the brake disc shield bolts. I'm going to hopefully get them out without welding nuts on the end of them. But we'll give it a go. Welder's already out, so nothing's going to stop us now. Okay, so we've progressed a little bit further now. Everything has arrived that I'm going to order. I've got all my parts down here. I'll show you. I've been busy, I've cleaned everything up, painted everything, and there's just a couple of little bits left to do. I've got the pillar drill and a wire attachment, and what I'm going to do is just going to clean up all the bolts that are going to go back on the car. I want to make sure there's no rust on them so that I can get them in nice and easy. Everything can be done up without any problems. I'll show you what I've done. So this is the knuckle. I have painted it all up, cleaned everything, cleaned all these bits out, give this a good clean up as well, and yeah, it's come up quite nice. It's all nice and fresh, ready to be rebuilt. Brake disc, I've given that a quick clean with a wire brush. Caliper carrier has all been painted, cleaned up, looking very nice. Shock absorber has been also painted, and I've painted the top as well just for crack. Shocker bolts, give them a quick clean. So we've got the wheel bearing to go on. I've also got a new ABS sensor. Then new caliper bolts, new anti-roll bar drop link, new brake disc shield bolts, new brake disc shield, and then these are the bolts that I'm going to give a clean up. They've all got a little bit of rust on the end, so we'll give them all a clean up. These are wheel nuts as well, I might clean them as well just to make it all a bit easier for refitting. And then it should be pretty straightforward. Put it all back on the car. I'm going to find out the torque settings for the wheel bearings and the knuckle bolts. We've also got to set the caster angle on it as well. Not the caster, the camber angle on it, because this is a camber bolt. Where's it? That one. This needs adjusting. What I'm going to do is I'm going to have a look at the other side and just copy the other side. That should be pretty straightforward. It is a little bit rounded, so I'm going to have to clean that up and be as gentle as I can with it. We should be alright. Yeah, and then put it all back together. Job's a good one. Right, let's get these bolts cleaned up. So just before I put everything back together, I have to address the ABS sensor mounting because I actually cut the bolt out. So what I've done is down here I've got a bolt, and what I've done is I've gone with the tap and die set, and I've cleaned all this out in here, and I've got a bolt that matches. So that will go in there, but the bolt's a little bit too long. I'm going to put a washer on, and then what I'm going to do is put the ABS sensor in, put the bolt through and mark where it needs to be, and then just give it a little bit of a trim because it's just a bit too long, and then everything's ready to go on. Right, that's all the bolts cleaned up. Now it's time to get this car back together. Everything else is cleaned up. I'm not going to address the rust just yet. I'll come back to that. I'm possibly going to get some lanyard guard on it and give it a right good do. Yeah. Well, that is it for this episode of the Audi project. The wheels back on, everything's all back on. We've got no lights on the dash, so that's a good sign. I need to take it for a road test, but I've got no insurance or tax on this at the minute, so I can't do that just yet. Needs a right good clean, so I think that'll be the next job, the next episode. Give it a right good clean and get it looking a bit smarter than it does. I also could do with some new centre caps for the wheels, because there's a couple of them that have broken and they're not going to go on properly, so I'll get online and get some new ones ordered. But yeah, pretty pleased with it so far. Just wants a right good clean now. Yeah, hope that you've enjoyed this this past couple of videos. There is going to be more, because there's still more work to be done on this car. It's not immaculate, it needs a right good going through, so yeah, there's still plenty to go at. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, and hopefully we'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.